Hey guys, Isabel here. We're back for another book review. So for this book review, we are reviewing Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I know I've been kind of doing just in a row of just books I've finished, but lately I've been finishing books quite fast these days. Because, well, I have a shit ton of books that I want to read and get through, and it's kind of the only videos that I've been making lately. I'm gonna get back into doing like creepy shit, like reading creepy stuff. I have a whole bunch of those that I might read here in a little bit. And haul videos. I don't really have that much clothes to show off, so I'm kind of waiting till, whatever. But yes. So, if you don't know, Good Girl's Guide to Murder, this is a story of investigation turned obsession. Pretty popular high school senior Andy Bell was murdered by her boyfriend Sal Singh, who then killed himself. It was all anyone could talk about. And 5 years later, Pip sees how the tragedy still haunts her town. Now a senior herself, Pip decides to re-examine the closed case for her final project, at first just to cast doubt on the original investigation, but soon she discovers a trail of dark secrets that might actually prove Sal innocent, and the line between past and present begins to blur. Someone in Fairfield doesn't want Pip digging around for answers, and now her own life might be in danger. So, of course, this book also has 2 more books in the series. I do not have those right now, so I need to go get those because this does leave you at a cliffhanger. So that's going to be pretty interesting. On my Instagram, I had given this book an 8.5 out of 10. That's because it ended with it being a cliche, as I called it. I'm always good at scoping out cliches, because I know a cliche when I see one. So, yeah. It was still great nonetheless. I mean, I love murder mysteries, as I do with most of anything when it comes to murder mysteries. I love watching murder mysteries. I'm just a big fan of horror shit in general, especially murder mysteries. Like, One of Us is Lying, that's another one, that's another murder mystery-esque thing. There's a TV show about it, which is fucking great. Although I'm pissed off because they didn't make a season 2. Even though I think there's like 3 to 4 books in that series. So, we will get to that when we get there. But, I absolutely loved the first book. I'm excited to read number 2 and 3 when I get them off Amazon. But, this one really keeps you on your toes about things and really makes you think about who the fuck did it and who the hell didn't do it. And then it also makes you question so much fucking shit about people and all their lives. But it also is like, just reminds me of like, oh, Pretty Little Liars, or, stuff like that. Like, I mean, that's like Criminal Minds, I like too. They just, there's a whole bunch of fucking clues and they figure out who the killer is and boom. But this is one of the, I think this is like my fastest book that I've read because I finished this book in 9 days. That's how good it was to keep you on your toes. One of the funny things about this though is that I had to get another copy because my first original copy that I had, it was missing pages 14 through 25. Or missing pages, or chapters 15 through 25. Because as soon as you got to chapter 14, it immediately skipped to chapter 26. So I was like, what the fuck? I thought it was like how the book was, but no, I guess it was a giant misprint. And it was a giant misprint, so I literally had to read the book online and go from there while my dad bought me a new copy, which is, it's only $7. But also the reason why I was able to get through it so fast is because I was reading it at work. Well, I was work because that weekend because it was super fucking slow. So I was just doing my steps, walking and reading. So that was actually pretty cool. But yeah. So got the new copy, which has all the chapters, thankfully. But yeah, it was really good. I really did like. It also gives you like realistic kind of like paper trails of like who did what, and really makes you think just a lot about like what the shit happened. I kind of talked too fast to not make this a long enough video. I apologize. But it was really good, and I highly suggest you go and pick it up yourself. It's not too terrible of a read, or not too long of a read, depending on how fast you read, because this has 49 chapters plus a 2 months later chapter, which of course leads you off at a cliffhanger, and Again, it's a cliche where it's just like, oh, the main character and someone else gets together. How did I figure that out sooner? Like, it's such a fucking cliche. Not hating on cliches, because it's like, I write shit about cliches when it comes to fan fiction and horror, because one of my horror books is going to be a cliche, which, spoiler alert from that story, depending on when I work on it, it's going to be, oh, a dream series. I know everybody really fucking hates when it's just like, oh, I woke up and the entire thing wasn't real, it was all a dream. But it works very well with how I want to correlate that horror story, so it's fine. But yeah. So now I have to go get books number 2 and 3, because those are pretty great. For some of these books I do have in my library, my room. Some of them already have prequels that I've already read, so I might have to do like a multi-series kind of review type thing, because I have this series called The Merciless. It's by something Vega. And there's 4 books in the series. Ivy, is that 4? 1, 2, yeah. So there's 4 books in the series. I have all the books, and I've read 1 through 3. I have number 4, so if I do get around to it, I'll do like a kind of like a prompt of like what kind of happened, because I do remember most of what happened in most prequel books that I own. I do have a box full of books as well that I have read throughout the years, but some of them I might have to reread, which is like I'm okay with. I kind of want to get through what I have now before I start going back to rereading some, and then I will probably do a book review about them if I remember them or not. If not, you can probably just go check them out on my Instagram. I'll do a little, on my book Instagram, Bookstagram as people call it. But yeah, so Good Girls Guide to Murder. Next book is called Good Girl, Bad Blood, and then the third one is called As Good as Dead. I think there's some kind of like sequel-ish type thing called Killjoy. I don't know if that's part of this, but it's by the same author. And the next book I'll be reading is called How to Make Friends in the Dark. It's by Kathleen Glasgow. I have her other 2 books, Girl in Pieces and You'd Be Home by Now, as you've seen in my book haul. Girl in Pieces was a fucking depressing ass book, so I'm excited to read this because we love depressing shit. Kathleen Glasgow is also a great author. I just started reading this, so I'm not that far into it because I've been exhausted all day because I haven't had my caffeine, as you can probably tell why I'm so fucking talking fast. But I also know I need to make a lot of videos and get, some videos for you guys, so maybe I'll just read a whole bunch of horror shit and go from there. I know those don't do as well as my haul videos, but we'll get there someday. Anyways, How to Make Friends in the Dark. You are to be, as the woman put it, remanded to custody of the state of Arizona by 1 p.m. Tiger's life changed with a simple phone call. Your mom died. Thoughts from the darkness descended on her own, otherwise average existence. Tiger's mom never talked about her father, and Tiger has no other relatives to speak of. So her world is packed into a suitcase and she is moved into a foster home. Then another, and then another. Until hope surfaced into the shape of a sister. Sometimes family comes in all forms you don't recognize, but Tiger can learn to make friends with the dark before... But can Tiger learn to make friends with the dark before it swallows her whole? So yeah, we're excited to read that one. This also looks like a pretty lengthy fucking thing. This doesn't have any chapters, it just says days. 60 days, 14 hours, 65 days, 17 hours, to a now, which I assume is the present, so we're not going to read too far into that. So yeah, there's that. And after I'm done with that one, be sure to follow my Instagram to see which book I pull next, as I drop all of them on the fucking bed. So yeah, that is basically that. I hope you all enjoyed. And yeah, everything's down in the description. If you want to go see the books that I am reading, or currently reading, or talking about, that'll be on my Bookstagram. And yeah, that's basically it. Love you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.